we are meeting in the context of the second quarter GDP print of 5.4% year-on-year annual growth compared to the second quarter of last financial year. You could put it down to the fact that Indian data are not seasonally adjusted. This is the first estimate. It could be revised higher, or it could be due to the fact that there were some religious observances in September and excess monsoon rainfall that did hamper some economic activity. Or it could be also because other more long-standing issues that are beginning to emerge, of which I will see. So explanations can be from mundane to the most more serious ones. But nonetheless, I think in reacting to this number, we should not throw the baby out with the bathwater, because the underlying growth story still remains very much intact. And as you see on the right side, India's capital formation, that is investments by businesses, by government, etc., and public sector enterprises, was 27.3% of GDP by the end of the decade, second decade, and now it has improved to 30.8%, 3.5 percentage points of GDP improvement, while private consumption has held up. And exports also have picked up in this very challenging global environment. In fact, if you take services and manufacturing together, India's total exports as a percentage of GDP is even higher than exports as a percentage of its GDP for China, if you take manufacturing and services together. But remember, when I talked about second quarter, we shouldn't overinterpret this number. It's also because second quarter did see a spike in the global uncertainty index, and supply chain pressures also intensified. And that was going to be the case, because you saw lately announcements by China anticipating some trade measures from the United States, restricting imports of some critical minerals and rare earths, etc. So I think these factors are going to stay with us. And if anything, there are 4 or 5 important differences, which is what I list on the left side, which we have to be aware of and recognize, and therefore up our game domestically. One is there is going to be lower economic and trade growth globally, and trade restrictions will be the norm than the exception. And that will also affect investment flows naturally. And geopolitics is going to be fragmented. And then this entire narrative of climate change and energy transition, we have to find the resources to simultaneously invest in non-fossil fuels and also adapt our economy to the vagaries of climate change, which is already in motion because of emissions over the last 220 years or so by developed countries.